Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So here's an interesting thing that I guess a lot of people are learning today, mainly leftoids, at least those that are paying attention and actually openly listening. It turns out that if you put strict laws on the books, they actually work at deterring and curbing crime. Wow.
Wow.
Mind blown. I got a real interesting clip to show you guys, as California recently changed their laws relating to shoplifting, and we get a very unique look into the criminal's actual reaction, authentic reaction. I don't think these two criminals knew that the camera was rolling in the back of the squad car. Let me show you guys this viral clip currently taking over X, and then of course let's have a conversation about the policy and the issues surrounding. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's talk about this incredible moment caught on camera. We've got two young girls in California shoplifting, getting arrested, and then absolutely stunned to realize that they're now facing felony charges. One of them freaks out claiming, oh, it's a felony, and the other explains, yeah, they changed the law. Take a look.
That's a felony? New laws. Stealing is a felony. And this is Orange County, bitch. Don't play. That's why I asked what county is this. That's where I went to jail last year and got on probation for a year for stealing out of Target.
And right there is the proof. When you actually enforce the law, when you have strong policies on the books and a willingness to back them up, it actually has an impact. Criminals start to learn that finally, they can't get away with this kind of behavior anymore. Accountability works. And the moment one person gets arrested, well, it kind of sends a message to the rest of them, and word starts to spread. I mean, word's already starting to spread. The era of lawlessness, where shoplifting is treated with a slap on the wrist, I think is coming to an end. And I think the word is getting out pretty quickly. And you can see it by the reaction from the criminals themselves. This is what happens when you take crime seriously instead of pandering to ridiculous left-wing notions of compassion that essentially enable chaos. You know, let's not forget we've been told by people like AOC that shoplifting is just hungry people trying to take some bread.
And so they go out and they need to feed their child and they don't have money. So you maybe they're put in a position where they feel like they either need to shoplift some bread or go hungry that night.
But that idea is absurd. We're not talking about people stealing loaves of bread to survive. We're talking about organized retail crime rings and rampant looting that's devastated businesses across America. These people aren't on the brink of starvation. No, of course not. More often than not, they're wearing designer clothing. This isn't survival. It's entitlement. And the consequences here are real. Major retailers like Target, Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart have been forced to close stores and scale back operations in cities plagued by theft. Nordstrom shut down in San Francisco, Whole Foods pulled out of downtown areas. Even small family-owned stores are shuttering their doors because they simply can't absorb the losses from the constant theft.
What does it feel like to have made the decision that you have to leave this space?
It sucks. I mean, this is my livelihood.
David Pasusic says the cost of running any small business continues to rise by thousands of dollars between the rising price of inventory, insurance, and his monthly PG&E bill. But the safety of his employees and the often violent responses they get when they regularly catch shoplifters is the main reason why he's closing up shop.
Some of them refuse to give it back, fight us, try to fight us, and or they say, well, go ahead and call the police. I'll wait for the police to show up. And they laugh in your face because they know they're not going to show up.
Along with the harassment and violence, he says he's also had to resort to boarding up his windows at closing time because of repeated break-ins. And for those reasons, the Bayside Market will close as of Friday.
These ridiculous left-wing policies have created an epidemic of theft, and it all comes down to weak laws on the books and a refusal to hold criminals accountable for their actions. You know, the leftoids have essentially flipped the script and they've made the criminals the victim, all based on this idea that these are poor, downtrodden people who are just doing what they gotta do to survive. They just gotta get their bread. Yeah, maybe metaphorical bread. They're trying to get the frickin' bag is what they're trying to do. And really, I just want to reinforce that point because it highlights the naivete of the left. The idea that people can't get bread in America, the world's largest economy, is a joke. If somebody genuinely needs help, there's countless programs, food banks, resources available. But let's be real, these shoplifters aren't stealing to survive, they're exploiting lax policies to loot stores and walk out with thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. And on the other end, it's those who are struggling with addiction, where essentially the extreme poverty is self-inflicted. They spend all their money on drugs. And what's the answer here? Well, the left tells you the compassionate answer is to just let them steal with impunity. I guess let them steal as much as they want to fund their substance abuse habit, diving them deeper and deeper into addiction. It's insane. That's not compassion. It's negligence. That's what it really is. But thankfully, things are changing slowly as the left is realizing that the people aren't going to put up with it anymore. And now we've got California's Prop 36, and that explains why these young, very classy girls here are getting hit with felony charges. We've got Proposition 36 here in California, which allows felony charges and increases sentences for certain drug and theft crimes. Proposition 47 reduced punishments for some theft and drug crimes. In 2014, Proposition 47 changed some theft and drug crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. For example, shoplifting, stealing items worth $950 or less from a store, and drug possession generally became misdemeanors. And so people were just able to steal as long as they were under that $950 threshold. They could steal essentially with impunity. Well, now that changes. Theft of items worth $950 or less is generally a misdemeanor, but Proposition 36 makes this crime a felony if the person has 2 or more past convictions for certain theft crimes, such as shoplifting, burglary, and carjacking. The sentence would be up to 3 years in county jail or state prison. These changes undo some of the punishment reductions in Proposition 47. And so now California's got some actual laws on the books, and things are changing quite quickly. And now we've got criminals that know that if they engage in these actions, on a repeated basis that is, well, they're going to face real consequences, and I think it's speaking volumes already. It shows that accountability works. I guarantee you crime will go down. When criminals know that there's a price to pay, it changes behavior very quickly. The simple fact is society won't police itself. Putting good vibes out there doesn't mean jack squat to no criminals. The only way these criminals will stop is if they know they can't get away with it. And so it's time to put an end to this enabling nonsense. There's no excuse for criminal behavior, period. The law-abiding citizen must always come first. If you want a functioning society, you have to prioritize the people who follow the rules, contribute to the economy, and respect their communities, above those showing a blatant disregard for civilized society. The moment you put the interest of criminals above everybody else, the entire system collapses, and that's exactly what we saw in California. But the good news is, things seem to already be changing, at least slowly, and it's sending a clear message that enough is enough. If you break the law, you will face consequences, and that of course is the only proper way forward. For businesses, for citizens, and for the future of the country. Let's stop with this left-wing nonsense of coddling criminals as if they're just vulnerable victims of their environment, and let's start building an actual culture of accountability and respect. American businesses deserve to be able to operate safely, and American citizens deserve to be able to walk and exist safely. In other words, enough with this woke justice system reform nonsense. It was a failed social experiment, and now it's time to come back to the real frickin' world. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.